Hello. Welcome in Mac, Day, Turtle, Willow, Snail, GQ. Happy Sunday. The Sunday before Thanksgiving. Think we need to make mid-boss. I guess it's either that or come up with something good for a thing. Okay, so we've got a partner. We've got our new partner. Hey, the field move is currently a little bit glitchy, but it's functional. But a little bit glitchy. But it feels, I don't know. I think even if I make it snappier, it's a little bit limited compared to the other moves I want to include for other party members. Like, this does open up new areas. It's like, okay, that lets you get to new places. Great. Also, that's super glitchy. That really needs work. It's like, it's fine. It's like, is there something more? Is there something better we can do? I'm not gonna go full on chameleon twist, because that's a whole game. But like, surely there's like a little bit more. Yeah, there will be fish. There will be fish in this area happening. Fish will be a thing starting in the flight minigame, and then also in this region. They will be kind of jumping across as a sort of small combat obstacle, so we actually need to have fish as an enemy. So that's going to be fun to add in. Like, how does that work? How do you have like a flopping fish as an enemy hanging out? It's like, what? The main thing needs to be that, yes, you use this to get across, but only in specific areas that I say you can use that. So we're not doing Paracarry from Paper Mario 64, which gives you like a brief hover. You can't ascend, but you can hover across gaps. That would fulfill this, but that would also let you go like around corners, which I specifically don't want to allow. The bot is up. Why is it not working? Maybe. There it goes. Ow. Wow. So like, okay. What else can we do with Leon here? What if we hold the button? Something different? Like, he becomes a bridge, and you can, like, bounce on the tongue? That's weird. Yay. Like, this is fine, because he can also grab things, and presumably we can add in something later where he can hit switches. So part of the problem is you just can't go very far. Like, this is barely farther than you can jump, but like just barely. Like, it almost feels like it should be possible to make that jump even. Like, oh, that's awkwardly close. Because if you can make that kind of jump, then we got problems. Good old board game convention. Maybe. So I did consider something like that, kind of like Wind Waker's swinging rope stuff, which is fun. But I feel like it makes it a lot harder to... Well, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. So it could be like he always looks for the closest attachment point. Slingshot, that's... Okay, hang on now. Hang on, there's something to that. There's something to that. Imagine you hold down the button and he just sticks, and then you can like pull against it a little bit. Like you can pull against it and then bling, and then it's an automatic launch and you don't get to affect the trajectory beyond that. It's just a set path. So you can pull back and spring. I like that. That you could do some stuff with that one. Okay. So it's like I did mention the trampoline, and I think that's silly and whimsical, but control-wise, it'd be a nightmare because he's 2D, and it's like, where's the hitbox? How do I jump on top of the tongue and bounce on it? It becomes silly. It's like if it was an all 2D game, then it's like, yes, obviously that works great. Yeah, Banjo-Tooie, split up move. Okay, but the idea of you can reach something. If it's an item, you just yoink it towards you. Like if there's a strawberry out on a floating island, you can just as long as it's directly across. If it is a tongue pole, as they are dubbed internally, then grabbing onto it. Do you get to pick, or do you automatically just launch? I think you automatically launch. Well, shut up, Windows. Yeah. Oh, see, that's adorable, GQ. That's some polish for, like, when we have 2 years left until release and everything is done, and we're just looking for features to add. Okay, I like the idea of using it as like a spring launch. So one tricky thing is do you get to choose between just going to it versus launching? Becomes yellow. Great. Let's see. Because I could imagine some kind of like precision almost, where it's like you can do a little spring or a big spring. Oh, chaining them. Oh, no. That's good. That could be really crazy. Oh, Kaizo section. Oh my gosh. Dupu, thank you for 41 months.
K, throw this away. You're pivoting to a DKC clone now.
No. Chaining them could be cool. Yeah. But it needs to auto lock on, so we need to have some kind of raycast and determine, like, like what the next logical one is. So that's a bit of a nightmare. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Just some kind of Area 3D cone shape, pretty narrow, that's just following the player at all times. I'll one-up that, a rockapella vocal track. Add ducks, add turtles. What a thrill. Okay. Yeah, I do like the idea. Okay, hang on. Let's imagine... Okay, imagine Galaxy 2, Yoshi mechanics. With that one, Yoshi latches on to the point and does a little somersault in the air, giving you time to hover or grab another one. And this is more of a boing. So it probably needs to be bi-directional. Let's get look at this beautiful art. Incredible. Give me a new. I will get the. That was an image search for Christmas coloring book page. The tablet also serves as an entertainment device for children. Okay, so... Alright, so we got... The current setup is that you have pole, and you can stick across, and if you have another pole on the way back, you can go back, which is awkward because you kind of have to line yourself up in this tiny little gap between the two, and then face right, and then press the button to launch across. That is annoying. So new setup would be somehow there's like a, think third dimension here. There's something stuck in the wall behind here. And now you can stand here. You can just walk up to the edge and press a button, except it'll probably be like this-ish, like vaguely above you, and it'll highlight, press button, new button. It'll highlight when you're nearby. It'll give you some kind of like boop, 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 boop. You can use it now, you can use it. And then when you press the button, it will automatically... New button. Using it in the air. Scary. Do we allow using it in the air? It would have to be some kind of like... If you pause in the air, tongue goes out. But if there's nothing to attach to, then you just don't. Now, already hitting levers and grabbing items is within the realm of possibility, but the rules are it has to be level with you. This does allow for a little bit more wiggle room. And I've got to account for the idea of like, what if you lure an enemy over, kill the enemy, and the enemy drops a strawberry? Now there's two things in your cone of collection, and the game has to be wise enough to know, okay, target one of those. Don't freak out. Because that's always fun when the game freaks out. But yeah, I do kind of like this of like you slap to it and then it kind of boing over. Does he? And then you kind of do a little weird launch trajectory to some point. Hold button, go into targeting mode, and release to tongue. See, one idea I was thinking was hold, like tongue holds. You hold the button down, the tongue stays out, and then you like pull back and you like swing. And that can give you variable distance that could solve puzzles. There's something to that. Because immediately after you get Leon, you have to do one baby platforming section to kind of just prove like you know how to push the button. And then a more in-depth one after that to prove mastery. I like the idea. Do we switch to horizontal instead of vertical targets? It feels like that is more maybe more viable. It's like you don't even want to solve. That's true. Same thing works if we pull it down. It's just targetable. I don't like the idea of having to aim it. I like the idea of just auto-targeting, and we just never have two of them next to each other. And that's that. We just simplify it. And I would even go so far to say, yeah, mostly horizontal movement is good. Do we pull back? Pull back feels like, yep. Pulling back feels like it would be better for the like ooh factor, kind of the rule of cool of like that's a spectacle there. That's interesting. That looks cool. I'm seeing this in the trailer, and I'm seeing like ooh I never thought about. Oh, that's an interesting field move for a character in a Paper Mario like. I love that. That's cool. That's interesting. What do they do with that? How deep does that go? Interesting. Was it? I've been on Photoshop CS2 since 2005, and I switched over to Krita last summer, and it's been fine. Mostly just because of better support for pressure-based tablets, because believe it or not, Photoshop CS2 from 2005 does not work as well with newer hardware. Crazy. Like a repeated button press, like it's a specific thing. The option is what makes it interesting to me. The fact that, oh, you could do it either way, that's cool. Because that gives the player choice, that widens the scope of puzzle rooms. That makes them more interesting, more things going on. That's good. That's what we want, is a little bit more to play around with. More toys for the player. More ways to interact with the world. Now, here's the tricky thing. When I'm in the world and my attachable is this far away, except let's say it's up here. Although, I guess I can bring it a lot closer now. Still, the tricky thing is if my choices are land here or land here. Oh, thank you so much. I don't quite get it, but okay. Is it because I'm good at pointing out paw prints? So if I'm over here, and I attach to here, my screen is focused on the player, which means, like, at best, I'm seeing, like, this much of the world. Right? Right? So, like, this choice here becomes something friendly and cartoony. I mean, friendly sounds like a compliment. Cartoony sounds like an insult. So you really hit me with the double whammy there. It's like, this could be really interesting. It could be that, like, okay, Gear Spinner, yeah. It's like, I like the idea of having the choice. If nothing else, the springback. Well, yeah, in this particular instance, this is a bad example. So you'd have like I don't know, a fence here, and then it's like, yeah, this goes this way, this goes this way, it goes different places. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. I don't, but I don't know if you're trying to insult or compliment me. So, I mean, it's a weird situation. All right. So it does. It's like, I would like to have options available to the player, but we could do when you're attached to this, I specify a different camera target zone. Give the player a choice about having a choice. Now we're thinking. Well, no, because you said your voice is, and that's not really an explanation. Like, I'm honestly curious of what that means. I want the explanation, but I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, so yeah, like, we could do, also welcome in Short, welcome in GNAA. So we could do, for instance, that, like, okay, the camera is following you here, and as soon as you attach to this, it, like, zooms out to show you more of what's ahead, to make that possible, I suppose. Because as it stands, we're gonna redo the field move for the second partner. I've been playing around in making a lot of the new areas in Chapter 2, and the conclusion I've come to is that it's not interesting enough. There's not enough to it. Because currently it's just a very limited hook shot. It's a hook shot that you can only use on certain targets, and that's all it really does. Like, okay, sure, great, cool, what else? It's like, that's it. It's not super interesting to see. It doesn't have any sound. It needs a little bit more pizzazz. But we're thinking maybe we move into something that's more of like a grappling hook that lets you, like, it slingshots you. So you attach and then ping, a little startup animation. I mean, maybe, but ultimately it still feels like there's not much to it. And here's the thing, Short. Here's the thing I've been running into that is really getting me, and it's something I wouldn't have considered at first. So let's say I want this gap to be crossable after you unlock this partner. Well, that means I need to have a little hookshot zone over here and a little hookshot zone over here, which means as a player, you've got to walk, you've got to move to get, like, in front of this, and then you got to tap right to make sure you're facing the right direction, and then you press it to get across. And when you want to go back, you got to kind of wiggle around the hookshot spot, tap left, and then do it again. It's really clunky, is really what it comes down to, is that it's, like, really awkward to get into position. Even if I added, like, some kind of auto lock-on system, it still feels rough. Yeah. We talked about Galaxy 2 and how Yoshi works there. That's a good start. I think there's going to be a little bit of Wind Waker DNA in this. The way that you've got the I don't remember what it's called. The it's like a grappling hook rope kind of thing. Yeah, we're gonna have a little highlight. It's gonna do auto lock on, and I think we're gonna move from these vertical posts to horizontal posts sticking out of the wall, or maybe being suspended by, some kind of in the background crane kind of thing. But the highlight will make it very obvious what it's, that's like, oh, hey, I can use that. But only when that character's out. Yeah, so the current idea that we're playing around with is it's going to be that you latch onto it, you press the button, and then maybe, this is still a maybe, he kind of like pulls back and you get like a rubber, and then bling, and then do a little flip and then land on the other side. Now that's going to be a real pain to animate in the current system, but it's doable. How are we gonna do it? Is part of the trick, because that's gonna be some dynamic stuff going on. Currently, the tongue is just a single long sprite, and you can kind of see the point where I cut it off right here. Here, let me go slow motion on this. So it's just cut off, and it's extending, and then it's back. So it's doable. Pizzazz of a host guy. I get you. Does he make a meow sound like Yoshi? He will make a sound. He doesn't have any sounds yet. We'll see. Okay, so are we gonna be able to do this? And if so, are we gonna be able to do this tonight? This system is scary. So we need a way to... it doesn't... I guess it needs a area. It needs an area 3D to mark it as something that we're monitoring for collision. Then the player needs to have a area 3D that sort of attaches to the player and follows the player at all times, and highlights poles when they are in that range. It cannot be a downward range. This is gonna be... All right, let's do it. Let's get started. Before I change my mind. We also still need to make the mid-boss of Chapter 2, who I've got the base art for, but there's probably going to need to be more stuff drawn to make her actually able to do enough different moves. I was trying to think of like a silly gimmick to throw on to the mid-boss, because like Chapter 1 mid-boss has a gimmick. Chapter 1 final boss has, I'd say it's a wave battle. A wave battle is a gimmick, I would argue. It is Rosie. She is going to be the Chapter 2 mid-boss. I think she's going to be fairly straightforward. Just does a lot of damage, or decent damage, you know. We're not going to get carried away. Yeah, there's going to be a charge attack, Probably a twirling spin move of some sort. Yeah, something that's weak-ish that hits both characters. Strong attack for main character, maybe an occasional charge up, increase strength for a handful of turns. And that'll be the general idea. Maybe a fourth move of some sort that's, I don't know, like a bunch of little damage so that if you're blocking, then you're in better condition for that. That'd be a good one, yeah, when she hits half. Now, one thing to keep in mind, oh, Al, I don't think you saw the finished product. I don't know if you were there, but we did get the new special move coded up. It's not complete. It doesn't have great theming yet, and it doesn't have a name. But our attacking move, and it's probably going to cost 2. It could stand to be a little bit faster, but I don't want it to go by too quickly. I want it to be a little bit like, oh boy. So it does keep speeding up, but your paddle does not speed up. And then each one you clear is 1 extra damage for the attack, and it hits all enemies. Maybe a little OP? I'm not sure. Not 100%. Oh, there we go. Perfect. 9 damage to every enemy is pretty powerful. But, and this is only if we divide it up. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think if we divided it up, it would need to be, I don't know. It's really strong, but consider 1,000-Year Door gives you Earth Tremor, which does 8 damage across the board, bypassing all defense, and Star Power recharges as you do battles. So you get to use that over and over. The fact that you can only use this once between long rests, that says that's something right there. I just realized that special these all cost 1, don't they? Nope, get move cost. Okay, hang on. Never mind. We just have to set the cost here to 2. There we go. That's better. A negative bumper. Ooh, that's tricky. That's tricky. A +2 and a timer. We could spice it up a bit. I think maybe increasing the initial time or initial speed would be good. I don't know what else. Earth Tremor is a long special in TTYD. Like, you have to do a long, it's the same minigame that Spring Fling uses, where it's a meter that's filling up with little circles that you have to press the button in time with, except it starts with like 4 circles, and then it ramps up to 5 and 6, and eventually up to like 8. You have to do 8 of those, and it goes ding-a-ding-ding. So you have to sit there and like hit like 30 of these or something. So actually, maybe adding more pegs and making the pegs half as powerful, like every 2 of them cleared is worth an extra damage or something. Yeah, if we add more of them, it's makes the minigame last a little bit longer, which that's not really the problem, but it gives you more time to screw up. So we'll consider that. The way it's built is pretty slick in that we can pretty easily change the number of pegs in each row without too much trouble, and add additional rows as well. So it's easy to modify. No, it's good feedback. It's still early. It hasn't been battle tested that much, but it's working and modifiable, which is the important thing. The code is written in such a way that we can easily change it. Yeah. So I want to go with like a little bit like computer program kind of stuff as a general theme, but that's not a hard and fast rule. I mean, recovery was the first special, which, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But maybe the naming should be modified to be a bit more Gearworks kind of stuff instead. Delete. Because I keep conflating it in my head when I'm theming things. It's like, no, wait, hang on. These are not computers. They are very clearly analog robots. It's all gears and springs. Cogwork. Okay, so let's see about this whole tongue area business. Let's see. How are we gonna do it? Oh, I hate this. Oh. All right, so we have the tongue pole as our initial one with a collision shape, collision area that has its own special layer. Tongue targets is apparently layer 3. I did not know that. Okay, so do you go under it? I think you could go under it. There you go. Wow, with an O. All right, so we're gonna put this under tongue pole. We're gonna duplicate this and call it tongue pole horizontal. And then roll with it from there. So first off, we're gonna take this, and this. We're gonna rotate them. And then we're going to bring them down. Eyeball it. It's close enough. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that can just stick out of a wall. It's one unit. Oh. I'm not going to... I'll leave it as collidable. But if all goes well, we won't collide with it. Let's go to our game manager real quick and change current partner to Leon, just so that when we first load the game up in debug sessions, we will start with Leon out. And that's going to make it a little bit easier to mess around with things. And then let's go over to scenes 99. Create a scene in here. Scene C. Let's throw an environment in here. Great, love it. Let's throw a box in here. What a nice box. Give it collision. Get in there. Let's make sure this works. Great. Cool. Could stand to be a bit bigger. All right. You know what? Yeah. Boom. Now we have a back wall too. Absolutely incredible. All right. Triplanar. Great. Cool. Let's grab a pole. Horizontal pole. So we can begin testing the basics. We need to figure out how high is the average grappleable thing gonna be. That looks doable right there. So it'd be something like that, like, and then you do a cool little backflip and then land over here somewhere. So the tricky thing is you can't see where you're gonna go. Are you able to do it in the air? Are you able to do it in the air? Because then you could chain it, and that would make for a really cool segment. I think we should try to make it doable in the air. Let's write this up as a wish list here. Look, right there. It's in the to-do list. Modifying Leon's field move. Leon's new groove. Area 3D follows player. Detects when in range of target zone. Highlights current target only when Leon is active. Usable in air. Seems fine. I don't think that's a problem. Triggers. Oh, how bad? Okay. It can't be a completely baked animation. There has to be some wiggle room in it because we don't know how far away the player is starting. Like the player's distance from the pole is not under our control. So we have to have some kind of dynamic system to get to the backflip point and get them to the correct target position. Triggers, dynamic animation to target point, do a flip, re-enable tongue control right after first flip, disable all controls as move starts, re-enable player control after landing, player move control. Can you turn around? Allow turnaround in mid-air for cooler chaining. So you could do like a bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm probably not going to require the player to do any chaining for the critical path. Or am I? It would be cool. We probably will. Just because I think it would be so cool to see. And a lot of this game is meant to be like, okay, there's going to be some more involved platforming than TTYD. Oh, Twitch is always looking out for me to make sure that the subs don't forget to sub. Yeah. You know what? I'll just increase the size of everything else in the meantime while the banner ad's up, and then it'll go back when the banner ad's done. That'll work fine. Okay, this is our goal. This is our goal. I missed my opportunity. Put black bars on the bottom and signs. Oh man. Oh, what was that? I was watching Dee do her Silk Song playthrough, and you remember that? You remember that time that it was Germ's birthday on Dupu's channel? That's done. And we kept making Dupu add things to his layout. Well, apparently this power I have extends beyond just Dupu's channel. And D was gonna add just this little hornet dashing back and forth GIF on, like, as a tiny little GIF somewhere on the stream layout, and I was like, no, make it really big, put it at like 2% opacity. And then every time the screen would transition to black for like a scene transition, you would just see this massive hornet dance going on. It was really good. It was really good. Anyway, that's fun. I just wanted to mention that. Where was that? Where was that? The thing is, it's really easy to find where it was in the stream because you could just like keep going back until Hornet's dancing figure appears or disappears to find when it started. Wait, did she take it off at some point? Oh wait, this was yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday. Wait, no, yes I was. I wanted to get the little image. And then just throw it on the screen because it's funny. Do. Right. Wait, did she hit the trap bench? I don't actually know. What am I doing? I'm putting off doing this thing. More sprinting Hornet, 1% opacity. Oh, that's the one. We found it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Great, cool. Uh-huh. Perfect. That's the one. Wait, no, less. Perfect. Okay, now we can work. Now we can get to work here. This is me putting off everything that I can manage to put off. Right in the middle there. Just enough where you're like, what's going on? What am I seeing? What am I seeing? There's a bug in the program. Ah, waka waka. Okay. So we need an area to follow the player. Okay. So tongue pole. This really falls under the player, doesn't it? Under player, we're gonna add a new 3D scene. Tongue area. It's the tongue area. I don't know what else to tell you. It's the tongue area. Great. The tongue area is made up of an area 3D and temporarily a mesh instance of it's a cylinder mesh, but we turn on cone mode. Right, because we can change the radius. What? What? A cone? A cone? A mesh? A succulent collision shape 3D? Get your hands off my geometry. Dupu. Dupu. Who do you think told her to make it 1% opacity? All the pieces coming into place. Wait, you can't do a cone, a collision shape? There's no cylinder for that. You can change, yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's fine. Because I think we can we can create a collision shape and then move that into the area. It's a little bit much. She denied it was there for the poster. Good. It was great because she was on the beast fly, the savage beast fly, and every time she died, the screen would fade to black, and then it was just like, boom, there she is. There's Hornet, front and center. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's the room transitions. Oh, it's good. It's good. All right, player gets tongue area. Great. Tongue area exists. Where is tongue area? I don't see tongue. Oh, tongue area's got to be saved. There we go. So now, see what I should have done. It's fine. It's fine. Just a permanent addition. I love it. We got to figure out the right size and position of this. Because I guess it can... So we'll allow it a little bit of uppies. She's still with us to this day. Oh jeez, no. Okay, so something like this, and if the tongue area connects to that. So how does this work with rotation, though? That's our concern. I don't actually want it to rotate. It doesn't. Good. Okay. So here you have to be. That's about the right width. I guess it needs to be a little bit. Well, so you could reach it. I want you to be able to reach it like here. So we are going to modify the radius a bit. Make it a little bit more stout. And then that also means we're going to rotate it up a little bit on the player. That seems like a pretty reasonable zone. Like here you could hit it, here you could hear it, here, but not here. And here, anywhere. That seems pretty reasonable. Now, thing is, we need 2 of these. We need 2 of them. So right now, we are taking this as a 2.11 scale. and this position. So let's copy this value here and paste it right on over here. Copy the rotation, paste that. Copy the scale, paste that. Boom. There's our target point. Actually, scale I think we can represent that here and here. Yeah, keep it in the mesh instead of that. Okay, boom. There's that. Remove this editability of the children objects here. Well, yeah, that. No, that's good. That's good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, great. Okay, and we're gonna make a second one for the back. And to do that, well. 103, oops, that way, and then so, yeah, negative 103 would work. And then position, negative, boom. So we have to keep in mind whether we are facing left or right. Oh, what happens with the camera when the camera rotates? Oh, gosh. How does that work? How does that work when the camera rotates? Throw a camera control zone into this scene, please. And give it a 20-degree rotation. What does that do to this? Does that do something really silly? No! Perfect. It works. Okay, good. So that follows the rotation of the character body, which matches the camera. There's this weird, almost circular logic with like which way the character faces versus the camera faces. They kind of go off of each other in a really silly way. All right, so let's transition these into areas. We're actually going to let them live. Temporarily. We're gonna let them be semi-transparent materials so that we can still see them because it's gonna help with debugging. All right, next up, Area 3D. Needs a collision shape. Mesh, create a collision shape out of this mesh. Move it to here. Uh-oh. Wait, no. Move this. Wait. What did I do? Okay. This. Mesh. Create collision shape. Move that to this area 3D. Great. Do I want... I guess I do want the two separate collision shapes. I want two different areas with two different collision shapes. So that we can track individually, is there something on the left, is there something on the right? Because what if you've got one in both zones and you kind of are flipping between left and right? We want it to correctly identify which one is supposed to be whoop, 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 whoop. You know? All right, tongue pull horizontal. How are we going to do the highlighting? I got an idea. Node 3D. Target highlight. And it will be a Sprite 3D. Oh, is there no good way to do this? I need a crummy star. I need to make a crummy little star. Like a really nice fat star. Which goes against my normal, like, geometric star that I like to make. Okay, that'll work. Normally, when I'm making a star, I've got a very strict, so you've got your 5 equidistant points, and the idea is that this one must be making a beeline for this point here, and so on and so forth. But what you wind up with when you do that is a fairly thin inner region. Like, that's compared to the total amount of space there is, it's a pretty thin inner region, versus if you want to do the fat star, you need to kind of get those angles softened out quite a bit, and you get a much friendlier looking shape. There we go. That'll work. Invert, delete background, save to art. We're gonna call it Fat Star. I think this one will work pretty well as an indicator. So we're gonna have to use some logic to control whether or not it appears. Also, we're gonna position it right here at the end, or no, let's see if we can position it at the middle but override rule. No, maybe the rules are fine. I don't know. We want it billboarded, I think. If yeah, like this, you see it's billboarded now. So no matter which angle you look at it, it always faces the camera. That's the billboard method. If we turn off depth test, then nothing can overlap it, which might be good. I don't know. Like, yeah, right now this happens. So if we turn off depth test, then it always draws in front of everything, which is pretty cool. Also, we don't want shading enabled on it. Oh, it's already unshaded? That looks dark, though. Is it just my screen is dark? Is that what I'm gonna believe? Guess that is, I don't know. No, that's just what color it is in there. Okay, that's fine. Let's give it a little animation. I want it to spin around. Don't actually know how spin around works with billboarding, though. How does that work? How does that work? It doesn't! Yay! Great, okay. Now if I do Y billboard, no. Okay, I just have to disable billboarding to get this to work. Surely there's some way. I could modify the act, no. Unless... no. Is there a way to get it to rotate but still be billboarded? Huh. Because it overrides the rotation when you do billboarding. Huh. It needs to Z jump. Great. Like, you know what I'm thinking, you know? Like, I want it to do this, but with billboarding enabled. So I want it to, is there a way to face cam? I don't want to do a manual camera facing system. I mean, I guess this is okay. I'm okay with it. I'm at peace. With it. Cubic. A little bit of a pulse. I don't want to have a second one, maybe? That is smaller and rotating the opposite direction. I think. Is this what I want? We're gonna find out. Zero, negative 360, and then the scale on this is gonna go 0.7 to, I don't know, 0.8, something pretty minor. It's okay. Maybe this one's a bit much. And maybe this one needs a little bit of gold star. To indicate that you're targeting that pole. I think that'll work. Okay, now for the scary stuff. I have to actually do all the programming for it. Okay, tongue area is going to be a child of the player object. So from that, we can grab which direction the player is facing, left or right. So that's available. Additionally, we should be able to figure out which partner is out. That's just from the game manager. So a tongue pole needs to have code attached to it. Tongue pole horizontal, specifically. Needs to have special code attached to it so that we can monitor when that player zone enters and exits. So we're gonna work off of the original tongue pole, which had a area zone that was just designated as collision layer 3. So we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Oh, it's already set there. Good. So we need to know the target highlight object And we need to take in the area shape entered and exit. We need to make sure that the tongue area is set to only collide with layer 3. So hopefully that means that this is the only time this is ever going to enter. So we're going to do print enter and print exit and see if we get what we expect in the console. So let's start with the basics. Just can we detect enter exit? Here we go. No, we did not get an enter exit there. And why is that? The areas themselves are set to collide with 3. It is an area 3D. The pole exists on layer 3, and the other one has a mask of 3, and that's what we expect, right? Or does this need to be reversed? Ooh, hang on. Does this need to be reversed? Tongue area is what would actually do that. So tongue area is the one that would trigger the collision, I think, rather than the other way around. So option is potentially... No. Dang it, that's not what I want. Okay, this is still doable. But the tongue pole is not going to be the one that's managing it. So disconnect that, get rid of these. Ooh, what if... hate this. Okay, the reason I want to set this up a certain way... Welcome in, Gamion. The reason I want to set it up a certain way is I would like for items on the ground to also be valid targets. But I don't want to have the code repeating itself. So likely what we're going to need to do is at some point extract a this is targeted thing. Like a special this is targeted by a tongue node that we can attach to whatever we want. Just give it a different collision zone and a different rule for what happens if I press the button while I am targeting that thing. So it's not great, but it should be. We should be able to extract the logic at some point. Is targeted equals false. And now the tongue area for the player is what needs the code for these areas. Okay. So connect that, but then also connect that and connect that. So this one is right and this one is left. Ugh. Okay, it's doable. I guess what we would want to do is maintain a list of nodes that are connected on each side, and as you enter or exit, we take them out of the appropriate list. Right side contents. and left side contents. I need to keep these separate, unfortunately. Okay. Let's do this for now. Print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4. Let's just make sure that these are working, because as we've already been reminded, you do have to test even the simple stuff. All right, here we go. So we got a 1 and a 2. 6 of them. 1, 2, 1, 2. Something else is connecting there. 3, 4. 3, 4. Huh. Well, now I'm curious what's hitting that. Like, what area is interacting with that on layer 3? This should be the only layer 3 object. It's just that one, and I find it really weird that it's connecting like 6 times. Oh, it's every frame. Why is it every frame that triggers? Why does area shape entered trigger every frame? Why? That weirds me out a little bit. I guess that's just the way it does it, huh? Okay. If right side contents dot has this area, or no, if it does not already have this area, then right side contents dot append area. Okay, so we got that one at least. Now this is just marking the area itself, and if it has the area when it exits, then what is it? Remove, erase. It's erase. Ugh, I hate that it's erase. Okay, and then this for left side contents. Super Metroid was a good game. That can't be denied. Okay, so then our processing for our tongue collision zone is going to say something about like if Leon is out, yada yada yada. Ooh, how is this gonna go? How is this gonna go? I guess we need a current targeted area, which by default is gonna be null. And then we need just a unified function for update current target that we're going to call after any of these change. We need to get the player as well, because we need to know the facing. And that should be just the parent object. Dragon Quest. It's always 50 regardless of how many letters are left. So it becomes a game of, do I go for the letters to like rack up a few extra points, or will that reveal too much? Or do I take it now that I already know it? Some people will try to milk it for all it's worth. Guess every letter they can. But that 50 is always available. Update current target. We need is left or right. Right here. But my points. Gotta have my point. Gotta have my points. If we are facing right. Oh gosh. Then expected target equals right side contents sub-zero. Well, if we don't have any though. What if there are no? Let's have an expected target of null for now, and then if right side contents dot size is greater than 0, then expected target is right side contents sub-0. Yeah, this will be good because we can do left or right, and it'll work the same way. If we're facing left, then look at left side contents and grab just the first thing out of the list. Okay. Then, if our current target area does not equal the expected target, then we need to update it. And then we need to turn things on and off. That's the big thing. So we're expecting that anything that is a target area will have an is targeted flag that it's going to manage. The area is going to be the child of the object itself. Target handler is going to be current target area dot get parent. Like get parent. And then we're gonna set is targeted to true, and our old target, let's see here. Let's say old target equals current target area. If old target is not null, then old target dot is targeted equals false. And I think that's it for this. And then each individual element is going to handle its own is targeted system. For instance, the tongue area is just going to do target highlight dot visible equals is target. And that's it. Okay. Fingers crossed. That was a lot of code without testing. Let's see what we get. Let's see the crash. Well, I don't get... Oh! Non-exhaustive function, get parent in nil. Current target area. Yep, so when you leave, expected target becomes nil. Okay, yeah. If current target area does not equal null, then set it to targeted. Okay, that's fair. Lack of a null handler. Pokemans! I saw it turn on. Old target... Oh, yeah. Target handler. Because we're looking at target area. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, we'll do it that way. Oh. Oh. Hmm? Why not here? Why here but not here? Why the flicker? Okay, this is good with the left-right. Until it's not. I think what I want is, I want this to be more solid. Paste. Clear. Clear. All right, it's definitely in that area. On, off, on. Oh, no way. Is this what I think it is? Does it only trigger when it's crossing the barrier? I would hate that. I played it. I never really understood what was going on with that game. I'm not seeing the exiting happening here in the way that I expect it to. Exit. Print. Enter. Okay, so I just want to know entering versus exiting. There's one area that we're looking at here. Okay, I just got 17 enters and 17 exits in that frame. Exit and then 2 enters. What? How does this work? Why am I getting so many area exit things? Area shape entered. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Maybe I should be using area entered instead of area shape entered. What else? What else could this be? What else could this be? Area shape entered fires twice when collision detected. Okay, that's close to what I'm seeing. No, I don't think that's what we want. All right, we'll try. We will try. This is a silly fix, I fear. But maybe this is what it needs. Let's see if this works. Oh, right. Sorry. No, undo. I know it's wrong. I see it. All right, show me. Okay, that actually does look better. But Hate this. Enter zone. Exit zone. That's not exiting. You're in the zone. It doesn't have to. How is this possible? How to check if something is inside. Okay. Yes, area entered, area exited. Yes. Add reference. When the objects when it's set, when it leaves, remove. I did that. Great. What am I seeing then? Area entered. Area exit. What is it called? Area exited while inside. Let's see here. Let me double check the documentation on exited. I'm missing something. When the received area exits this area. That didn't help us at all. Now this can't be how this works because, well, admittedly I'm using body shape entered and exited. Order. Yeah, the signal should not be fired. This collision shape looks good to me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, here's a silly idea then. Here's a silly idea. Let's do this. Let's make it really big. That's my silly idea. Great. No, so what we're seeing currently. Okay, enter. It entered the zone. It just exited the zone. Entered. So the collision box is this entire cone, but for some reason, when it's completely inside of the cone, it seems to treat that as an exit. I wonder if that's something to do with the fact that it's a cone. Like, is there something weird about the collision shape of that? What if I, instead of doing a tri-mesh, what if I do a simplified convex shape? Well, that doesn't look great, does it? Like, maybe it's this automatic mesh creation that's giving me problems now that I think of it. What if, I mean, that doesn't look good, I'll admit. Let's try it this way, with a simplified something or other collision mesh. That seems to have fixed it. Wait, no. Exit. Enter. Okay, we're getting the right log messages, though. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, it's something to do with that. So undo all that. Undo. Take this mesh, make a single convex instead of a tri-mesh. Get rid of the old collision shape. Repeat over here. Get rid of the old collision shape. And we can hide these meshes. Okay, now we can track down actual bugs. Okay, I might need to turn this this mesh on after all. Well, maybe is it okay? Seems all right. Oh. Hang on. Am I still in the zone? Am I still in the zone? Apparently I'm still in the zone. By a hair. No, I'm not. Now I think I am. It says I've entered, so... Let me check the code here. Remote, scene, player, tongue area. Right side contents. There is, in fact, one area. Now 0. Now 1. Now 0. Now 1. And I'm facing right. Oh, I see. Yep. That is a bug. Okay. Right now. Oh, and I also wanted to address the left side stuff, so I need to fix those. Right side here. I need to do the same thing for left side, which is redo this to area entered and area exited. Get rid of these. Get rid of these. Get this. Okay. So, yeah, we do need to update our current target when we change which way we're looking. Okay, so we're gonna do this. If they are not equal, then we have changed between facing left and right, and we need to update our target. That should fix that. Yeah! Oh, perfect. Okay. I love it. I love it. It seems pretty good. I think that's fine. And then we'll use this. Pew! That's working weirdly. That's not how that was supposed to work. Something somehow has broken on Leon. His tongue just shoots out with incredible speed. Do we want to have a rear back when this happens? I mean, maybe that'd be cool. Need to check his normals. This is gonna be weird to redo because he's gonna have to tongue up. Unless we do this... Oh, we could do some silly 3D stuff. We could do some silly 3D stuff to fake the tongue. Noise. Okay, so it's gonna be... Oh, this is gonna suck. His tongue used to... So I don't know what changed there. That's really silly. How do I get this to point here without, like, completely overlapping his face? Because if I'm allowed to go from here, that's going to be really tricky. Going to be... I mean, I might have to redo his tongue animation so that his head is tilted up, because that's like close to 45 degrees. That's like 35 degrees there. I maybe it's more than 30. Maybe it's 30. So it's down to like, okay, that one's more like 25 there. 25 to 35 degrees is a pretty big window, but it's necessary. Or I can cheat. And the tongue is an actual 3D object. Ooh. Hang on, I'm deep in thought. How would we want to do that? How would we want to do that? Gotta check that cat. Oh, fly through my rings. The star could be smaller. The star could stand to be a little bit smaller. Bobbleman. Okay. Let me fly through your rings. Understand. Bomberman 64 was fun. And I think it had a very unique vibe to the single player mode. It felt like such an N64 game. It was just this weird world of just very simple geometry. Yeah. GoldenEye was really good. So how is this gonna work? So he lines up, tongue just snaps. Just tongue just one frame, snap. I don't know why he's doing this. Hang on, let's go back to this room. Quest 64. Superman 64. Yeah, see, this one he's working fine. What changed here? Well, I say that, but his foot is stuck. So it could do that, but like up. but I need to be able to dynamically snap to whatever height, which is going to be difficult. I could rotate his whole body, I guess, right? What's to stop me? What's to stop me from rotating his entire body? Let's see if that's doable. Leon, I'm gonna rotate you. I'm gonna rotate you in space here, so you just get ready for that. Oh. Okay. So that is doable. It's a little bit silly, but it could be that, like, while the animation is starting, I fire off a tween to just rotate him to point wherever. That would work. Dang it, that would work. So I need to calculate what angle we're going for. Oh man, I love bug stuff. Okay, but in this test zone, what dawned on you, Dub? Why does this happen? Why does it just blip, blip? That's so weird. Give me cat. Oh, okay. Now he's better. Okay, it's something about the way that he's loaded. And he's loaded, man. That is really weird, though. Why? What's different here? What does this zone have? No, nothing. Geometry, plants, decor, foliage, camera controls. What's going on in this room that's different? Oh, Kirby 64. Okay, what if Leon has to fly off the edge? No. What if we both have to? That's super weird. That's super weird that his tongue does that. It's not because of this, I don't think. I'll delete it, but it certainly shouldn't be because of that. What's different? No, that's not it. Okay, I don't know. Good old John Nintendo. Okay, so this won't be the best test environment for what we're trying to make happen. Okay, so the next thing is Leon has his partner ability. Oh boy, it's a handful, huh? I ranted about Ternaries at some point when programming Leon's moves. Cool. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, this does in fact suck. So I can just rotate his sprites object. Nope. I guess not. But yes, I can. Why wouldn't I be able to? What was the problem here? What are you complaining about? Because it already exists in base actor. Oh, so I can just call it sprites and it should work. that true? Is that true? Sprites. Sprites. Yes, okay, good. Okay. So there needs to be a tongue target. Groverfly's Elegy, yay! Tongue solidity has its own thing going on. Okay, tongue solidity is getting thrown out the window, I think. Is it? A grub. Okay, so when you are running around and you have a target assigned, that's pretty straightforward. That's pretty straightforward. It should attach to that. But when you don't, it's gonna go straight, but we don't want it going through a wall. Like that. That would be bad. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Leon. You righted yourself somehow. I don't know what you did there. But yeah, it should aim for the wall but then stop. So I guess solidity still applies, but no, because if it's going to go for a target, then it's... Is there ever a case where the target would be something you could hit? Oh gosh, I just realized his icon is old. He has no hat. He has no eyes. I mean glasses. We need to fix that. Do we still need to check for solidity in this case? I would say no, but I guess I can't say for certain. I think I'm hoping we can just get around this with good level design. And that there's never going to be a case where there's a wall in between you and there could be, and we need to check for that and see if you're close enough to trigger the actual that could be the noise when you flip off of it. Give it a nice little Okay, so the tongue is going to have he was an ugly character. And then we gave him a hat. What is this? Okay, this is just... Okay, so use partner ability just activates the tongue, but does nothing else. It creates a tween. Does something with collision mask. I don't remember why we're doing with that. What we're doing with that. And then on tongue touch. Touched area. Tongue pole horizontal has the tongue pole area, but also has the solidity. So we may end up making this a little bit bigger, just so you hit that before you hit the solidity, or maybe you hit them same frame. Either way is fine with me. Toes. No toes. Okay, not this one. Not this one. Okay. So on tongue touch, thing happens. And then we have area names for the tongue pole. So really what it comes down to is the tongue handler, which is on the player object, not on Leon. Because Leon's movement should be disregarded. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we do not treat the partner as a real entity in this game. The partner's position is abstract. If this happens, no it didn't. He's fine. So I want to make sure that we're never using Leon to determine whether or not we can hit something, because he might be like halfway across the world when the player is saying, use the move now. And so that's all there is to that. So it is important that the player is the one that is using the move, not Leon himself. So we're going to get tongue area off of player. So when you use partner ability, let's see here. Player tongue handler equals player actor dot get node or null tongue area. And then we're going to get the tongue target, which is going to be a node 3D that defaults to null. Current target area. Current target area. Yeah, it'll be current target area. Hey, Bach, welcome in. Current target area, which could be null. Tongue target. I think this is okay to do it this way. If I focus on the area. Focus on the area. Well, that nests me right there, which isn't as great. Would I prefer that it always target the midpoint? In which case, it'd be the collision shape, which... Actually, probably what we'll do is node 3, target center. 5, and then the tongue management system has this. And so instead of grabbing the area, I grab the area's parent. Current, if such an area exists. If target area is not equal to null, then I want target area dot get parent, because that's the actual code zone, dot target center, and then tongue target. It's going to default to null. Otherwise, we're going to get this. Okay. Get our target area. So now we know what we're aiming for. Let's see here. So right here, let's look for if tongue target is not null, then let's let's get some information about it. Let's get the horizontal distance. So we are looking at the player actor's position. Yeah. This would work. Is there a way to flatten? Not an easy one. Take the global position X minus the tongue target global position X as the X value, 0 as the Y value, and then Z as the Z value. Because I just want to... Wait, maybe there's a way to get a 3D angle. I'm looking for the vertical angle. I'm basically just getting rise over run. I have a vector 3. If I just take the tongue target's position minus the player's position, and then from that, okay, so we have a 3D space. I have my player over here and my tongue target sticking out of the wall right here. So from that, we have a 3D vector right like this. I want to know this angle in 3D space. So if I flatten that out, you know, it's maybe wider than it appears. So I know this distance here, I know this distance here, and I know this distance here now. How do I get, without getting a really ugly formula? Because I could go arctan of this value over this value, but then we have to do some square root shenanigans to get this value, and then we start to get this really ugly looking formula. Surely there is a way to get vector 3 vertical angle? No, I don't want to project it. Do I? Oh, what's going on? Well, hello, welcome in. I promise everything is very normal here. Welcome in, Internet Tricks. Josh, how are you doing? Welcome. How was your stream? See, you were doing some kind of programming of some sort or game development. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're working on? I always love to hear about projects that people are doing. We are working on a Paper Mario-like. And there's a lot of tongues involved tonight because we're redoing one of the field movement techniques. We are unfortunately doing some vector math. So the second partner in the game. Oh, nice. This is, yeah, that is gonna break. As a matter of fact, that is gonna break now. Second partner in the game is this guy here, who's got a hookshot move, but we're redoing it completely. And as a result, it's going to be more vertical, firmly within cheek. So I have The formerly this move was only going to be horizontal and never any, oh gosh, now this is even failing. What did I do? Oh, because I accidentally deleted stuff because I hate when an error pops up. It just takes focus straight to the editor, even if that means that your movement in game was going to do something silly. So formerly, you could just hook shot across, and then like you would be pulled across, and that makes sense. Come on, Leon, fix your tongue. Thank you. So formerly that was the move, is you would just kind of hook shot across, but now we're changing it to be more of a system with actual like hot points that will auto target, and then we're also going to need to angle the characters facing upward a bit, and that's going to require some 3D trig, because this game the camera can rotate, and so you could be around the corner by 90 degrees, and that's gonna make some problems. So we need to make sure that whatever function we come up with, it handles all these weird cases. Always check your normals. Doing web dev, procrastinating, shill site for a coworker. I've been doing web dev professionally for about 12 years now. 12 years and a few days. And gosh, it sure sucks sometimes, but sometimes it's very fun. It can be a very fun thing to do. When I first started out learning web dev stuff, I got really into vanilla JavaScript and got pretty good at doing things without jQuery. And then ES6 came along and made jQuery even less necessary. So I was like, all right, this is pretty good. We're sitting pretty. And then everything went the way of Angular and React and all the others, and that was a pain. I don't like JavaScript frameworks. Hi, Photon. Welcome in. How was the stream tonight? Photon raid. Brickwall. I mean, it's already happened. One guy, shortly before the demo launched, or maybe shortly after, managed to get completely out of bounds by basically sidestepping a screen transition area. Just like by a hair, it was possible. It was very annoying. Epic raid. It's an invasion. That's what all the cool kids are saying these days. We've decided. How do I get this without making a really ugly one-liner? How do I get this angle without making a really ugly one-liner? I have the vector. I want just the vertical angle, but I don't want to do an A-tan wrapped around a square root, wrapped around all this other junk. There has to be a function for that, right? It's gonna be ugly. Oh, crunchy PC. Let's see here. Target angle. Let's see here. Target difference vector is this. This is the target difference vector. And now we want just the... So we're changing Leon's field move. Currently, it's just horizontal. And that's fine. But we're changing it so that it's going to auto-target and be able to hit things up above slightly. There's like an invisible cone of area that you can target. And so I need to calculate the distance from, or not the distance, the angle, the upwards angle only from here to here. And that's going to be fun. Oh, you were actually doing a 3D VTuber model. I'm gonna have to look at the VOD and see what you're up to now. I mean, not now, but you've changed the trajectory of my life somewhat, in some small way. See, it's easy to compute it, because I could even cheat it. I could even say, close enough right here, but the game can be at different angles, and so I can't rely on that, on just flattening it out. I need to know the actual 3D area. I mean, just because it's a big bite doesn't mean it's more than he can chew. So we would want to take this vector, and then let's make sure I specify that it is a vector so we can auto-complete some stuff, and maybe it'll give me some hints. Angle, signed angle, angle 2. What is angle 2? Minimum angle to the given vector. I mean, I guess that would work if I do angle 2 itself transposed down. Oh gosh, transform matrices. Once you get into the matrix level stuff, it's like I know the formulas, but they're just out of reach of me actually having them internalized. It's like trig, yeah, no problem. I get it. I can visualize the angles and the sine, the cosine. Yeah, sure. I can see that. I can see the code. I can get the angles, no problem. I can trace tangents and calculate all kinds of things, sometimes in really dumb ways. This may be the most straightforward way, unfortunately. Down times that. That, I think, would give me the answer. We're gonna print it and see. Yeah, it's one of those things that's like just a little bit past what I just naturally got. All right, what's our angle here? 0.46 radians. Does that sound right? Yeah, actually it does. And we would get more if we do it from here. 0.57. Okay, yeah, that seems about right. Because that would be about 1. Okay, I think we got it. No, Buck. Okay, so we're gonna do some tweening. I can handle rads decently, I guess. I do tend to use degrees in code. Yeah, I guess degrees are a lot easier. But for just the print statement, it's fine. Tween angle. All right, we're gonna change Leon. No, not Leon himself, but just the sprites container. Rotation sub Z. We're gonna set that to our target angle. We might have to do an absolute value on this or something. We're gonna see, and we're gonna do it with the same time there. Let's see what this looks like, and then also we need to remember that when it's done, I'm kind of a rad guy. Okay, let's check this out. Does he tilt up? Oh, jeez. Not only... Not only did he, but it also made it just work, which is hilarious to me. Now, what's he going to do if we do this? Okay, good. We don't need an absolute value. All right. We're going to... All right, great. Great. What you looking at, buddy? Huh? Huh? You can get it. You can get it. Oh, look. Yeah, see, he targets it. He targets it. It's good. Okay, we still got the old code in place, which we're not supposed to. Do 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 do. That's great. That's great. Looks really good, buddy. Looks really good. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. This is what earns follows right here, is when you see this dumb stuff happen. All right. So he's still doing the weird thing that, like, his tongue just immediately there. Now it's fixed. Now it fixed. Okay. So the next thing to do is we need to actually be able to detect that this is not the normal kind of tongue target. What a vibe. It's not a normal tongue target, and we're gonna do a cool flip. We're gonna do a cool flip. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. All right, to bring you guys up to speed, the plan is... Here, let's do it this way. Perfect. All right. So, you're going to come up. Do. This whole thing is drawn crooked. You're going to come up. Smaller. Do. And it's going to target this. And you're going to use the move. The tongue is going to go out. Tongue is gonna go out. A slurp. You're gonna go out, and then you're gonna fire off towards it, but go a little bit low. I don't know how we're gonna do this exactly. I haven't planned out the math for it. And then you're gonna do like a little backflip, and then land over on the other side. That's the plan. Now, after the backflips start, you will be able to trigger another tongue move. And if you turn around, you can even go above you, I think would be cool. Yeah. And it'll be really cool. And it'll look great in the final trailer in like 3-4 years. How are we gonna do that? Currently, he's just kind of goes straight across, which is really silly, and I don't know why. Why does he go straight across? That's gotta be... Okay, we've got current tongue state is the way that the tongue works. Because it's separated from usability, just triggers it. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. The music that is playing is the soundtrack to this game. This game is called Paper Robot. There is currently a full demo that lets you play through the entirety of Chapter 1, which, depending on how slow you take it, 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 if you're streaming it and talking to chat a lot, because I've seen that happen, that when people stream it, it lasts a lot longer. But yeah, it is available on Steam, and there's a link. That one's on the house. I did not make most of the music in the game. I made some of it. The main guy handling the music, they are called Casual, or Wario's Warehouse, or Apollyon, or Cassidy's Records. They've got a lot of names. Games are not supposed to be that high up on the house. You see, that's what he was going for. Okay, so tongue extends. Play extend. If it's on a wall, then change back to retracting. But if you Oh, and then there's no if you hit something on this, is there? That's all down here. If you touch an anchor, then boom, you switch to retracting and tongue anchor triggers. Yes, we're currently working on the Chapter 2 stuff, but Chapter 1 is done and can be played right now. You can download it to your computer through Steam and play it. And there's no scores, but you can pretend that you're getting the high score. Okay, right here. If the tongue anchor is not null, and follow target. What? Who's the follow target? Wait, what? It's been a while since I've done this. On tongue touch, tongue pull area on tongue touch anchor. Good, good. Oh yeah, so this pulls in enemies or other stuff. What a happiness. If you're extending and then you touch a tongue anchor, then set it to retracting. All right, well, how does retracting work then? If you are retracting, then parent. Where are we actually getting pulled towards the thing? Ah, here we go. Global position equals. Who's follow target? Am I follow target? Is player the follow target? Input locked, so I'm assuming so. It is, I am pleasantly surprised by how small the game file size is. The zip is still under 100 megs. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna get bigger. But I'm gonna feel pretty satisfied if I can keep the entire game under a gig. Set it to the global position of the tongue anchor. And then tongue hitbox dot position plus X plus a little bit off. Sure. Global position. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. The tongue anchor's global position is up there. That's why it snaps me up. Okay, so this is the part that's going to be a little bit silly. I'm not expecting large open world exploration games to be under a gig. But this is my textures, generally speaking, are like 100 by 100 or 200 by 200. Mute while minimized. That's doable. I'll add that to the feedback list. I've got a lot of features that that people have mentioned as requests, and it can be tricky to prioritize them. But that said, it's not. If it's a smaller thing like that, then it's super doable. Feature request setting to mute while minimized. Could be, so it could be like a multi-phase or like a 3-value idea of, we call it minimize behavior. 1 is no change. 1 is mute mute while minimized and unmute when the game comes back up, and a third setting of mute while minimized and leave it mute. No, it'd probably just fade the music out and fade it back in. Like do a very quick fade, but not a hard cut. If you do a hard cut, you might think, uh-oh, did I just crash the game by minimizing it? No, it's still running, never mind. But if you do a quick fade, then you're like, oh, that's nice. The game turned the audio all the way down because I minimized it. I am not a pro. Oh, this is gonna be so annoying to change. Am I gonna rewrite the tongue stuff from scratch? I hope not, but maybe. It's not for tonight. Tonight we got the basics, which is identifying, auto-target. Which auto-target thing are you looking at? Yeah, see, he misses. He misses. Also, why does he change to instant? Like, it just, pow. It's supposed to be, it comes out, and then it... The letter sound, I do too. I don't know if there's a name for that, but I had a really long rant about that, or I guess more of a rave, about how RPGs do little sounds when the letters come up, and it's fun. I like it. I want games to do that. It's good. Especially because in RPGs, when you do that, you could have different sounds for different characters. And suddenly the different characters actually have like their own unique voices. A rant and rave, a ravent. Sure. Let's go with that. Okay. Tongue comes out. I need to figure out that initial bug. Figure out why he's doing the thing he's doing. It goes away if I switch partners and switch back. Then he goes back to regular tongue maneuver, which is good. So it'd be... I need to change it so that when you strike the object, it sort of pauses the state. So it'll pause it right there. Pause. And then maybe there'll be a like slingshot, and then we begin the animation of which is going to be its own thing. So is going to be, we have our current position, our center point position, and from that we will calculate a backflip target position of like right up here or something, and we'll do a we'll spring up to it with some kind of elasticity, some kind of tween easing. That is not Godot. That is my own. I think Unity also has like the speed scale stuff for the game. I just set that on a key change, so it can be a little bit annoying to run through the levels 100 times while testing changes. And so I have a fast mode, and then I can also toggle to a slow mode for viewing in depth, like the little animation stuff. So yeah, it's saved me a lot of time being able to just fast forward through cinematics and dialogue and the rest. Yeah, so he'll tongue towards that, and then I think that's where it's going to get really tricky, because we're going to not pull directly towards it anymore. We're going to kind of do a little flip. So it's going to be like tongue goes out, you start pulling towards it, but then I need the tongue to kind of snap back as we start flipping. Oh, that sounds like it's not gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. but we do need a animation for them going into like a sort of cannonball pose where they can actually like flip around and it'll be cool. I think I need it to be snappier. I think I need it to just be... Because as it stands, it's like he gets in position, he rotates, then the tongue comes out, and then all the rest. I think I would like it to just be... That could be cool. That could be cool. Quick rant. There's a really cool feature. You can make a CSG polygon like, let's say, this shape right here. Look at this lovely trapezoid. You can make a little trapezoid here. And then you can also make a Path 3D. And then you can take the curves of the Path 3D and you can make some cool shapes with it. And then you can also extrude that into smooth curves, which is fun. And then you can even go in 3D with that. Like, wow. And then you can say, hey, polygon, path mode, use this path, and then boom, it extrudes that. It extrudes your polygon that you made onto that path. And that's really nice. But there's something I would like to do, which is extrude it along not the entire path. I want to be able to like map out, okay, here's the tongue path that the tongue is going to travel on. It's going to start at this end and it's going to extrude out. And then we'll just do some material shenanigans to make it look cell shaded. But I don't have a way to only extrude partially because this is not the sort of thing that you want to real-time do. Not the thing you want to real-time do. It's like you can change the path in real time, but it does have to recalculate the polygons stuff. Like you can do this, and it does work live if you want it to. But it's not a free operation. It's a little bit expensive. But if I could bake the path and then I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, what if instead of having a single tongue sprite, it was like, you know how the Super Nintendo did giant frog tongues? Move the points of another path to be extruded. Yeah. It's like I want to render that path in pieces that I can stretch. Because you can do a path follow node. And a path follow node, let's add just a mesh to that. Give me Prism Mesh. So a path follow node, you just tell it, hey, progress ratio, and then you can tell it to follow the path. You can tell it whether or not to use rotation. It's great. And this one is completely dynamic. And this would work if I made like 50 or probably even get away with 10 little segments and then move them dynamically along the path in lockstep and do kind of how Super Nintendo had a lot of times where it was like, here's a chain or a rope or something that we need to kind of move in weird patterns, and rather than actually have a big sprite to do that, they would do lots of little sprites as little balls, and so you'd get like a big enemy that has like a big frog with a tongue, and the tongue would be made of like 5 red circles, and you just understand like, no, that's the tongue, don't worry about it. So anyway, that would be cool to be able to like connect it with a path and then draw along the path, but that gets expensive. Chain Chomp's Chain, great example. Points off. Points off. Because that wasn't on the Super Nintendo. Chain Chomp was not in Super Mario World, nor was he. He was in Yoshi's Island, but he was not on a chain. He was doing his big scaling sprite thing from the background to the foreground and then launching through the ground. But did not show up on a chain in Yoshi's Island. But regardless, the point is there. We gotta get out of here. I got work in the morning. Hope somebody's on. Great. Nobody's on. Ugh. I'm gonna check the game dev category. YouTube Photon, thanks again for the raid. I'm interested to see where this VTuber model comes in. See what happens with this. We got a good chunk of people. Who can we go hang out with? Do I know you? I vaguely know you. Let's see here. No. No. I don't know where we're gonna go. Let me check a few other categories, because we have some more out there bits and pieces that we will sometimes move to. You know, the Mario World and such. Mario World people. I don't want to just end the stream and let that be that. Mr. Coffee is on. I've caught some of his streams. He's not a developer. He's just a variety streamer. But he did an excellent playthrough of Paper Robot a couple months ago. Who do you have in mind? As long as it's not like a huge streamer, because that feels weird. You know, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why that feels weird. Whee! Let's see here. That is Godot. I do see some Godot going on there. Points immediately for that. All right. We'll go off of Photon's recommendation. I trust Photon implicitly. I'll hang out for a bit, but I will have to run pretty soon for bed. So that's it. That's stream. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see if we can make more progress on this new and improved thing. It's going to be a lot of animation stuff, and I'm really not 100% sure how I want to solve it. I'm going to let my sleeping brain play around with that. I just noticed that it's still up. I just noticed that I never took this out. It's still going. It's still going. All right. That's good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. No, it was, but I love that I forgot that I put it there. And I just looked over and like, right. All right. Have a good night, everybody.